This program is brought to you by Simulus Clothing, official title sponsors of Formula Virtual Racing. But wait, there's more. Check out the official Formula Virtual Racing merchandise line out now exclusively to Simulus Clothing. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the program.
He's going to show us now!
A big good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to everyone's favourite Saturday night racing series. It's Formula Virtual Racing. We are here live at the famous Spa-Francorchamps circuit in the Ardennes Forest in Belgium. What a racing facility we have here in Spa. It is a fan favourite across the world. It's a track we've been to many a time in Formula Virtual Racing, and it's a track we return to for this evening's action. Good evening, folks. My name's Evan. It's a pleasure to have you alongside with us for tonight's Belgian Grand Prix. But joining alongside me in the commentary box, it is a man equally known to you Formula Virtual Racing fans. It is Mr. Brendan. Brendan, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Here for Spa, the best circuit on our calendar here, the longest circuit on the calendar, and one which is only one that's over 7 kilometers. But it might be just under if you take the absolute perfect line. That is a random little fact I've brought to you most if not every season. I'd say it is a little bit cloudy and misty here.
It does.
Anyway, you see tracks. It isn't exactly sunshine and rainbows here. And I can imagine I've been feeling for the likes of Lewis McWilliam last week, where it didn't really go to plan, and he did fall down the order of the championship. He was on top, but now I think he has fallen to third, tied with Davies.
Yes, he has. We've the championship standings on your screen now. Briefly, folks, it is Legend Rosenberg who is back at the top first time this season. 46 points for the Dutchman. Tyler Davison then in second on 40, just 6 shy. Not a bad performance from Tyler last week at all in Las Vegas. Lewis McWilliam in third on 38, then Luke Davies tied on 38, then Avesta Gobadi on 36. But Avesta not here this evening, unfortunately for him. He's decided to take an impromptu holiday, and he won't be here for this evening. Unfortunately, it's looking like it's almost championship hopes gone for Avesta Gobadi, because he, of course, is not planning on racing the full season. He's going to miss a few rounds here and there, so disappointing for Avesta, who's very solid in Monza. But qualifying underway then for the Belgian Grand Prix, the season 12 Belgian Grand Prix. Last year, of course, this race was won, or last season I should say, was won by Legend Rosenberg, and then the season before was won by Leroy Van Schendel. But it is the other Alpine driver who we're looking at currently, Lewis McWilliam, who's heading round down through the Jackie X curve. I was going to say newly named, but it was probably a couple of years ago at this point, but it is the Jackie X curve, and then in towards Pouhon. Lewis is looking to bounce back after a poor week last week. As Brendan said, Las Vegas was not too profitable for him. He had disconnects, had a couple of incidents, and didn't end up getting any points. Won the first 2 rounds of the season, So he's looking to pick up a third maybe here this evening. Spa-Francorchamps, bit of a mixed bag for Lewis, I suppose, Brendan. I don't think we can ever forget that battle with Legend on the last lap back in Season 7.
Yeah, and it ended up costing them, as there was penalties handed out after that race. And, if I'm not mistaken, was it Thomas Main who inherited the win then?
Yes, it was. It was Mercedes 1-2. Luke was just behind him.
Yeah. Yeah, so it worked out for them too, especially Thomas, who is a Belgian. So it was a very much an appreciated home victory. But now we don't have Thomas here, and Luke is about to finish. Is he?
Yes, he is. He is on a hot lap.
I
He
think.
is just running for the bus stop chicane and looking to try and complete a hot lap. That's a second off Legend Rosenberg. Oh, it's going to be one of them qualifyings again, isn't it? Where the Dutchman excels. It's 0.6 of a second between him and Lewis McWilliam. Leroy Vinchendal's just popped up to third. Leroy quite good at Spa-Francorchamps. I believe that's one of the Red Bulls actually off Anna Rouge. No, it's just Conor Rochford letting everybody through who is on hot laps. Here is Tyler Davison running for campus. And down towards Buchon. Oh, that's a slide and a half. That got old squirrely on the exit of the higher speed chicane. Tyler catching it well though. A little bit of rallycross experience, not necessarily on the CV of Tyler Davison, but certainly coming in clutch with a bit of a save there. Liam Houseman took pole for one race here around Spa-Francorchamps. He's just slotted into fourth, about a second off. Season hasn't really got started yet for Liam Houseman. He's still looking to try and get a couple of good results this season, as he currently sits bottom of the World Championship in 20th place. Alfa Romeo necessarily don't sit bottom in terms of the constructor standings. It's not been the worst start of the season for Alfa Romeo. They currently sit 7th. They were dead last for all of the season last season, so I suppose anything is better than nothing. Only 2 drivers yet to set times. That's Boer Bune and Morris Stumer. Boer won't on this occasion. Morris might. And Khan Duggar finally serving the qualifying suspension. He got 3 races ago.
Well, better late than never, I suppose.
Yeah, I only found out about that an hour ago. Otherwise, I think the stewards might have a little bit stricter to say you can't really go 3 rounds not serving your qualifying suspension. It's not great, but he actually did finish bottom of the standings in qualifying last week, which he accidentally set a lap, which wasn't ideal. But here is Morris Stumer, the German. He just oversteps the mark slightly, heading through Malmedy. And he has invalidated his lap time. So troubles for Boer and Morris. Boer is going again, though. He's going to head of Eau and Radion now.
Yeah, it's as important thing about Sector 1 is that source. Everything stems from there. You need to get the right exit and then just keep a decent line through Eau and Radion. Now you see the come. You just have to manage it here. Just keep a nice line. It's very easy to make time here, but also very easy to lose it. And you see Bruxelles, you just need to keep it tight, and then into no name, it is just going to have to be. You need to be ideally riding the curbs a little. There used to be a trick for this section of track, but you can't really use it now. And you see through on, oh, just keep it within the limits. That is the key. You just can't really afford to go wide. Next couple of corners, it's just very flowing if you get it right, but also very, very easy to lose the time there as well. Now this is probably the second most important exit of the track, where you have to, as it leads on for your sector 3, and so you're coming up here towards Blanchimont. It used to be a very precarious corner, but now it's just a kink. That is it. That is the beauty of these cars. Down to the bus stop. It used to be a lot quicker than before, but obviously around 2005, 2006, they changed it. It's much more of a slow corner now, and you're up to the line. 13th, well, a spare time for Boer now, but be looking to improve on it.
Interestingly enough, you might be thinking, oh, Boer, I've never heard that name before. It's a Dutch name, Dutch origin. We actually have 2 of them. To surprise you, Boer Yoshi is in the Alfa Romeo for this evening, and somewhere in the grapevine I've heard.
Oh, hang on.
Oh,
Hang on. We've got a car on the wall. It was Morris Stumer at the exit of the comb.
It was the German. He went wrong in this part of the track on his last lap. He's gone wrong here again, and that's the Ferrari off. I believe Charles Leclerc had a crash there. Was it last season? Maybe not. I can't remember.
Right part of the track, wrong side of the track.
Okay.
He
but my knowledge wasn't
Yeah,
too far off, so I'll take it.
he spun off to the left. And that was 2021, I believe. I believe a certain Max Verstappen also ended up there.
Was that 2021?
Yes, I do remember
My
because
God.
I saved an image of it.
That felt like it was literally like last week, but nonetheless.
Yeah, it was FB2.
Oh, I could have sworn I could have sworn he crashed last season in qualifying there, but I could be wrong. I know he was quite high. Oh, the grid penalty was in 2022. I don't know. I actually haven't watched the last 2 Belgian Grand Prix, so I couldn't really tell you. Conor Rochford is currently on a hot lap, and this man has set this series alight, or slightly. He has had some very impressive results in the last few weeks. It was 4th in Monza, and it was quite a good result in Las Vegas as well. It was actually, it was 5th in Monza, it was 4th last week in Las Vegas. He currently sits 6th in the World Championship. Was officially a split 2 driver, and he's one of the only rookies on the field, so he is certainly the favourite for the rookie of the season. And he's doing a stellar job. Currently on a hot lap heading through Blanchimont. He is the perfect assistant to Legend Rosenberg, I think, because he doesn't get in Legend's way. He allows Legend to do Legend things at the front of this grid, but he still picks up the consistent points. Into the pit lane, unfortunately, there for Rochford, wasn't able to finish a time. Philip Engel, currently 5th as well, replacing Avestico Badi, so Ferrari still have 1 driver up in the good points-paying positions in qualifying so far, but of course, got to run a steady race around Spa if you want to pick up good points. Here's Liam Houseman heading into Pouhon, into the left-hander for the Sauber team. Liam could really do with a strong result here, Brendan.
Yeah, I think that's just something he needs. Like last week in Las Vegas, he was on for a nice result, but unfortunately for him, his let's just say internet decided that was not going to be the case, and was, you could argue, say it's one of the more cruel races he's had, because many mistakes he made before, or things that happened to him before, were of his own doing, but this one was completely out of his control.
Here comes Liam Houseman, heading through the bus stop and heading up across the line. Yes, 3rd. Nice one for Liam Houseman. Lewis McWilliam is 0.3 of a second up for the second sector split. Let's see if he can find more time as Legends just increased the margin by quite a margin. Lewis found 5/10. He's still exactly pretty much where he was, 2/10 off Legend, but it is good to see someone can compete with Legend Rosenberg. Big middle sector. If your name is Leroy Van Schendel, almost 5/10 to the good. He'd like to jump ahead of Philip Engel and Liam Houseman. Engel just going 4th for Scuderia Ferrari, the only Polish national on the grid. That's an improvement there for Luke Davies, who jumps up to 6th position. There goes Leroy, makes it an Alpine 2-3 again. Just pops ahead of Liam Houseman marginally. Boy Yoshi in 8th position, I believe. Yafan Guru is on a hot lap as well here. He comes across the start-finish line, replacing Dave Sampson for this evening, and that is Yafan up to 13th, 2 seconds, I should say, off the pole sitter. But it is still a Red Bull Alpine shootout for pole. Luke and Tyler nowhere near the qualifying pace on display here this evening.
Yeah, for 2 people who would have championship aspirations, they're being a little bit usurped by, well, obviously Legend and Lewis are very much there at the front. Like, you'd be expecting them to be where they are. But it's like Van Gendel, who did have good pace last week in Las Vegas. Also Houseman, who, same boat as Van Gendel, both ended up not scoring for unfortunate reasons, which weren't really their fault. This is also Philip Engel, who did win a race, is a race winner in this league, so I guess it's that surprising, but Luke and Tyler will be thinking they need to be in the P3 and P4 slots that was. Yeah, especially with no investor there.
The only thing about Luke and Tyler is they are traditionally much better in race conditions. Qualifying, Tyler was nowhere near in Las Vegas either, and he did quite well. That's a little bit of a hindrance. Lewis McWilliam will play no further part in qualifying. He's parked it in the garage, or actually, has he parked it on the circuit? No, that was Leroy Van Schendel. So Lewis has parked it in the garage. He might be saving a set of these soft tyres for race trim. Lewis traditionally only does 2 runs anyways in qualifying, because he usually makes an absolute mess of the one in the middle, but he won't even bother going for the final one. The one in the middle was quite good. Obviously felt that's the maximum he can get from this this qualifying session, and he's happy with second. Let's be real, he's probably going to finish second as well, because I can't see anyone beating Legend, and I can't really see Leroy finding 4/10 on an already good lap. But here comes Conor Rochford, heading for the first sector down towards the Bruxelles hairpin. I was literally just about to ask you, Brendan, if you're Legend, surely you're staying in the garage and saving a set of the soft tyres yourself, but he's done that exactly. This would be a really cool shock now if someone could beat them both, but I can't unfortunately see that happening.
No, unless someone in esports wants to take that final seat, but don't think
it
that's
is supposed to be
happen.
Julius Gassner. I'm not actually too sure of his whereabouts at the moment, but yeah, he definitely was supposed to be racing.
Probably not the best sign if there's no form of communication. We do to what Rochford is up by about 6.5 tenths here, so we could expect he could end up splitting north and south here if he wants to, or top of the both of them in a
He means Luke and
truly
Tyler, by
befitting
the
of
way.
an Irishman. Yes.
South of England,
If
North
he
of
can top of
England.
the Brits.
Oh, he
yeah,
beats
he's
them
actually
both! It's a grand day for the
both.
parish of Enniscorthy, as they've beaten the two British drivers in 7th and 8th. That's a reference that you may understand. As Nils Hartl is out in qualifying as well. No, he's not out, sorry, he's out on track in qualifying. Not improving on his lap currently. Liam Houseman and Philip Engel come back out. This, I think, is going to be a battle for third between Leroy Vincendel, Liam Houseman, potentially Philip Engel, potentially Luke Davies and Tyler Davison if they can find an almighty amount of time. But wonder is Luke and Tyler maybe set up their cars for qualifying or for the race here. Usually a car that's good in the race around here is not as good in qualifying, but we'll wait and see. We will wait and see. As Habib McCook, 18th spot currently, the man in the Williams for this evening, replacing Wong Fee Anderson. He's would like a little bit more time, I reckon. Oh, I thought he was going into the barrier or Rouge there, but it was just a bit of a lag spike for Habib.
Leroy Vincendel is still in the pits, so
Maybe not going back
Is this
out,
a
maybe not
strat?
bothering.
is this an Alpine strategy rather than a McWilliam and Rosenberg one?
Could well be. I mean, I'm not too sure I understand why Leroy would stay in the garage, because Liam Houseman has been running well, of course, in this qualifying session. But nonetheless, I suppose that opens the door a little bit for the Dutchman in the Sauber, because he doesn't really have any challenges in front of him. They're all parking it in the garage for the remainder of the qualifying session, so there's not much pressure on for him. He is about 3/10 clear of Philip Engel behind him as well in this qualifying session, so I suppose all the pressure's gone for Liam, and he doesn't really perform too well under pressure, as there is confirmation that Leroy Vincendel will play no further part. Big moment this for Liam Houseman, however, as he could take a very strong qualifying result here.
Yeah, like Houseman, this could be, we had said it before, but maybe this might be the chance for him to turn it around and just kickstart some good form. And just needs to hope that Spa, which is usually not the best track for you if you just want a quiet race for you to pick up a result. Because usually something gets thrown in the mix at some point, be it weather, safety cars, or just general chaos.
Yeah, it's usually something of note will happen in a Belgian Grand Prix, whether it's a battle for the win, whether it's a controversial moment. Something will usually happen. Something will happen for Houseman into the wall. That's a shattered Alfa Romeo. Nope, that will be an overstep of the mark for Liam Houseman, and he won't improve in qualifying. And that is an all too common theme for Liam. I hope he doesn't let that kick his confidence, because he has been driving well in this qualifying session, and there is still a race to come. Here comes Tyler Davison heading through Puhan. Ooh, big improvements for him. 0.426 up on his lap. If you don't know what that means, it means he's going quite quick in that middle sector of the circuit. Was strong in the first sector on his original lap, not necessarily in the middle, so just needs to hook up the final sector here, and he's got himself up the board a little bit. We need to keep an eye on Philip Engel and Luke Davies as well, who are also fighting for the fourth position potentially. Liam might feel a bit sick in his stomach if Tyler was to take this fourth spot off him, which he doesn't. He stays behind. Tyler Davison is up to 5th place. That's nevertheless still a good performance from him. We've got one of the Haas's crossing the line. That's the Austrian of Enzo King, who jumps up to 8th. Here comes Philip Engel rounding through the left-hander. The Polishman is going to try and beat the pair in front of him, which he won't do. Look how close that is to Tyler Davison. Luke Davies was about 3.5 of a second improving in that middle sector. Can he put it up on the board here, or will it be Houseman's spot? No, Davies goes behind all three, so Liam Houseman's got away with one, as his teammate Yoshi is not currently improving. And yeah, Paguru is improving actually, but is it enough? It's enough for 13th, so he will end up in 13th. Liam Houseman will stay in 4th, but it is Legend Rosenberg who's on pole for the Belgian Grand Prix, and Lewis McWilliam in 2nd, and Leo van Schendel in 3rd. Folks, we have a corker coming up for you, but that won't be until after a very short commercial.
This program is brought to you by Simulus Clothing, official title sponsors of Formula Virtual Racing. But wait, there's more. Check out the official Formula Virtual Racing merchandise line, out now exclusively to Simulus Clothing. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the program.
He's going to show us now.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Formula Virtual Racing. It is the Belgian Grand Prix, and what a qualifying we had at the race. Should be even better, however. This, of course, is the Belgian Grand Prix at Spa-Francorchamps. It is a 7.004 kilometre circuit, and if you don't know that off the top of your head, are you even a Formula 1 fan? But it's a fabulous racing facility. We'll head back trackside now. And Brendan, who is going to win this one?
What seems like it should be a straight shootout between Rosenberg and McWilliam. I do think, I'm not sure who will win, but I think this will go down to the last lap. It could actually be whoever has the slipstream in that case.
Oh, I like that one. That's a very interesting race for us. A reminder, folks, coming up soon, April 19th, we've the Formula Virtual Racing Gran Turismo Championship, which will be live on the YouTube channel. If you want to race in it yourself, you can sign up on our Discord server. I'll be there on the grid. So if you want to join myself and some other class GT drivers, you can sign up now. But it will be live streamed. We'll have a live stream with commentary, I should say. The commentators will be announced soon, but one of them, a man who knows an awful lot about Gran Turismo racing. He may have something to do with the GT World Series, in case you weren't sure. But for now, our focus turns to the Season 12, Round Number 4, Belgian Grand Prix. Live from Spa-Francorchamps. And we go racing here in Belgium. It's a great start for Legend Rosenberg. Thought there was a bit of a jump start in the background actually, but all good on the penalty front. It's a dive down the inside from Leroy Van Schendel. The two Alpines looking to box off Tyler Davison, who gets reeled squarely heading out of La Source down towards Rouge and Radillon for the first time. Luke Davies right on the tail of his fellow Brit in front. He's almost looking to go side by side there, but I think that would be a little bit silly to do on the opening lap of proceedings here at such an iconic racing facility. Leroy Van Schendel tucking into the slipstream of his teammate. Is he going to be able to lunge it down the inside? I think it would be a bit of a silly manoeuvre if he did. Tyler Davison side by side with the Polishman of Philip Engel. Philip Engel will just fall into line behind the AlphaTauri, and there'll be no manoeuvre available for the Scuderia Ferrari. Luke Davies right on the tail of that same Ferrari, but no lunge potentially for him into the Bruxelles hairpin. It's a fairly clean start. They're all away well. Cal Dulger, your biggest gainer in the Mercedes, he's up 3 now, hounding Bob Ewan.
Yeah, it's not a bad start. Enemy. Oh, wait.
Oh, it is for Yaffin. He's disconnected.
Oh. Yeah, that is not good news at all. But it seems like pretty much everyone here has gotten through one gate, which is probably a good sign for the Belgian Grand Prix. Because usually you end up getting somebody caught, but you'd also not like it early on this race somebody is going to lose the car. And that could decide.
Here comes Luke Davies. This is going to be brave around the outside of Blanchimont. The McLaren's got it done. It wasn't as brave as we thought because he had way better straight line speed. He's now right behind his old firing partner, Tyler Davison. Of course, Luke and Tyler won a Florida Virtual Racing Academy Championship again. Together in the McLaren. Is Luke a McLaren merchant? Yes. But here comes Tyler Davison going for this one on Liam Houseman. That's Enzo King on round in the background. Tyler has a little bit of the Davison dummy up the inside. Wasn't necessarily the full one. And Liam Houseman is able to keep it around the outside. Yaffin Panguru rejoins the session, so he's going to be able to get back in and motoring once again. Nathan Marriott breezes past Tim Den Hire. Tyres for the race start. It is mediums for all except Tim Den Hire, Abib McCook, Yaffin Panguru and Enzo King. So a similar trend on those who've had misfortune. They're on the hard compounded tyres. They can go long in this race at least. Here comes Tim Den Hire. Look at this. Here comes Boyashi. It's 3 wide. Boyashi has just tried the Hakkinen move on these two, and it's not worked, unfortunately, like it did for Mika back in the day, because the Dutchman at Tim Den Hire stays ahead for the time being. Marriott, the adventurous, and takes a quick trip to the beach on the exit of Malmedy. But he's all okay. Car still going just right behind the Sauber in front. But it is Tim Den Hire up to 9th.
Yeah, Den Hire on the hard tyres, so he'll be hoping this race gonna calm down for a little while, and then maybe once we get past the halfway point of this race, once we get that 12-13, then things could happen then, and that would be the time he'd want them to happen. Because if he got the advantage of a free pit stop with the ability to switch onto medium tyres, then his race could turn out to be very, very good. But for now, it looks like 2 horse race at the front, and then it's the Van Schendel train behind.
We've seen these two go toe-to-toe in Belgium at the front before, Legend Rosenberg and Lewis McWilliam. Back in the day of Season 7, when they did go toe-to-toe, they were teammates for McLaren. They had the Constructors' Championship all boxed up. Well, it was the penultimate round of the season, and those two went scrapping. No, sorry, it was the third final round of the season. Now, they're not teammates, they're both fighting for a championship. They both want to win the championship, because they both want to prove that they're the greatest of all time. Legend and Lewis are tied on 3 championships, but they're not going to be tied for the race lead, because Lewis McWilliam is up, is ahead. Job is done by the Alpine. He's got that one all sorted. His teammate, unfortunately, had the other fate. He's just been overtaken by fellow Dutchman Liam Houseman, and he's now down to 4th position. Tyler Davison right behind Leroy Van Schendel as well in 5th place. Tyler and Luke. I sometimes like to boast about my predictions, but I was very right in this one. They're driving a better race than they had a better... hold on, let's try that again. They're driving better in the race than they did in qualifying.
Yeah, I think that is usually how they work, with some minor exceptions. I think it's something I've noticed particularly lately with Davies, is that he likes his straight line speed setups, which are setups that very much are geared to the race and making up positions, rather than maybe a more qualifying setup, which would have that little bit more downforce needed to set the best quality lap possible.
And
But would
admittedly,
struggle
Tyler
then
told
to
me
either
that
make
he's
up.
also running Luke's setup, so they both have the straight line speed.
Oh, well, yeah, so both of them probably will. I'd see if maybe Davies might have a little more comfort or knowledge of these kind of setups, because if he runs them most weeks, that's probably going to help him in the long run.
Yeah, Luke likes a lot of straight line speed and not a lot of downforce. Yet if you put him in a GT car, you'll get a completely different pace in terms of his driving ability. You'd be like, who swapped out Luke Davies? But that's the way he likes to set up his F1 car. That's the way he's won two world championships with. So we'll keep him going for it. Legend Rosenberg, another man who knows how to set up a Formula 1 car. He's got the job done, and this is Tyler Davison and Leroy Vincendel looking for this one on Liam Houseman. Vincendel third for now, but still side by side with Houseman, and that's now shoved these two into a little bit of a battle. And Liam Houseman on the outside of Tyler Davison now. This is not a battle we've seen for quite some time. Bit of a nudge. Davies trying to take evasive action potentially in that one, or trying to take an opportunistic line and take a race position. However, Liam Houseman stays ahead, and whatever Liam had for breakfast this morning, I very much like it. That's all elbows out. That's great racing between the pair.
That's worked out for Van Schendel very, very well. He could break the DRS here if he just gets it these next few corners right.
Yep, Liam's got to tuck in here, or else, yeah, he has. Leroy's got it. That's very disappointing for Liam Houseman and for those behind, because Liam could do with that DRS, because he's got podium chances here. It's not something we've often associated with Liam Houseman in terms of a modern day Formula Virtual Racing race, but he's got podium chances here in this one. He needs a mistake from Leroy into the bus stop. Let's take this race lead. Legend and Lewis just controlling this one at their own pace from the front. It seems like they'll be swapping and changing throughout the course of this race. Liam, he's almost back in here, you know, a good exit, and he could be back within contention. Yes, he's back in within contention. It's an excellent job for Leroy Vincendel. No, sorry, for Liam Houseman. It's a horror job for Leroy Vincendel, because he's made that mistake into the bus stop. Houseman saved his own race maybe here. Of course, we still have a long race to go. We're only on lap 5 of 22. There can easily be a safety car around this Belgian Grand Prix.
Well, Houseman's going to derate it very, very soon here. He's only on 6. And he's on the overtake button again.
Yeah, he doesn't stand a chance here, really. The Avatari's going to breeze past.
Davison doesn't have much himself, but he has something, which is better than whatever Houseman has. I reckon he probably could do with just sticking here and letting it build up. He could have more downforce in the setup, which doesn't help really with ERS generation, because you can. It's often easier to do it with less downforce.
Oh, Leroy Vincendel! Big mistake heading for the Bruce Delta hairpin. He's come off the exit. He's completely lit up the rears, and he's spun round, hit into the wall on the exit of the Jackie X curve. I don't believe for a second he's escaped damage, but there's nothing visual on the front wing of that Alpine. That is a horrible, horrible mistake for Leroy, former Belgian Grand Prix race winner, who was in a very neat position in this race. That's now opened it up for Tyler and Liam. Unfortunately, it's bad news for Alpine, who are looking to try recover from a poor week in the constructors' standings. They scored 0 nil points in Las Vegas. They were looking for whatever 22 is in French or Flemish. Or Dutch or German, which is also spoken in Belgium. And English.
You're looking for Frank Duh.
Yeah, Brendan studied French for a lot longer than I did, so you'll know that. I did actually know that, though. Unfortunately, couldn't think of it on the spot. Here comes Luke Davies, going for this one on Liam Houseman. Houseman hits the AlphaTauri round, and that is a horrible moment if your name is Tyler Davison, because Liam just broke way too late, hit the back of the AlphaTauri, and Tyler went round like a fidget spinner, and there was just unfortunately nothing he could do about that. He's been sent round. He's now in 10th place. And Luke Davies has gone back onto the podium. Here comes Philip Engel getting past Liam Houseman. Oh, that was a big nudge. I thought that could have been curtains for Liam Houseman's race if he was shoved into the Armco there on the left-hand side. Philip Engel, that's a cracking move. He's just got ahead of the McLaren. It's all drama. On lap 5 and 6 of the Belgian Grand Prix, we've lost 2 potential podium contenders. It's now a scrap between Engel, Davies and Houseman. And look who's emerged, Rochford.
Yeah, Rochford's snuck himself up to 6 here, so not too bad from the Irishman. He could, well, I think he could maybe take advantage of Houseman. He could be a little bit rattled from that error, which is just something I think the last thing he needed to give up. He was in a very good position, but then just broke away.
Oh, Liam Houseman!
Rattled.
Liam Houseman is rattled, and Liam Houseman unfortunately has returned to the Liam Houseman we've all known in the last few races. He was running a steady race, but unfortunately the devil has returned for him, and the devil for Liam Houseman is the fact that once a race goes past lap number 5, it all goes wrong for him. He's hit the back of the AlphaTauri, penalty incoming surely, and now he's spun heading through the campus chicanes down towards Stavelot, and now he's down to 16th with not an awful lot to play for in this Belgian Grand Prix. It was, I suppose, just as quick as it went up, it all came crashing back down.
Yeah, that is the thing. Like, he was probably feeling a little bit flustered because he's thinking that, oh, I've got a penalty coming in, and that's just what's happened then. He's made that mistake. But now it looks like Luke Davies, who's Ringers is a real big winner of all that chaos. He's now third and could end up taking a decent result in a track he didn't seem to be too quick at in qualifying, and didn't seem to be making that big strides in the race. As well, he was moving up. He was moving up behind Davison, but now obviously chaos has helped him, and that is often Luke Davies' best trait. He's able to make the most of what he has.
It's sickening really for Liam Houseman, because it was looking like maybe the old Liam Houseman Alfa Romeo form returned, one which he won 2 races with, the United States Grand Prix and the Singaporean Grand Prix, but unfortunately the Belgian Grand Prix won't be added to his 2 FVR wins to date, or, well, at least not now. It doesn't look like it. Obviously, as the great Murray Walker used to say, anything can happen in Formula 1, and it usually does. And my own little addition was, if it can happen in Formula 1, it probably will happen here in the league race. But 16th for now, 2 tenths behind Maurice Stumer, a lot of work to do. However, Luke Davies is going to be thanking his lucky stars once again. He's now in third with a real chance of a podium, but he's going to have to fight for it. He's got a feisty Philip Engel right behind. And Leroy Vincenzo's not out of this one either. He's recovered well. That's a yellow flag in the third sector.
Oh, yeah, that's weird.
I'm not sure who that is, but Houseman gets past Stumer.
I think there was something weird happened there. I didn't really catch it quite because it kind of caught it late. It seemed like there was some confusion between the two.
As there's going to be a swap for the lead here, as Legend and... No, there's not actually, sorry. They're already in the chicane, but they got to 110. Here comes Philip Engel. He's up and ahead of Luke Davies.
Yeah, so it looks like it's probably between them two for the final podium spot. Possibly Rochford if he can maybe take advantage of mistakes. But it seems like Davies has been the one doing that so far. I think you would imagine that, look, just take the points that are on offer here. You can break away from Davison, you can get ahead of Davison, and probably end up not too far from McWilliam. Obviously, Rosenberg could establish a bit of a lead. We just don't know. Things like Monaco did happen last year, and that's where the big swing can come back in his favour.
The only thing here is, though, Luke is good at taking points when he can, but when your 2 rivals are 6.6 seconds up the road after 8 laps, you probably start to worry. But he's not a man really who does worry, does Luke Davies. He is cool, calm and composed behind a race car, so I wouldn't count him out of this one just yet. This is his teammate, though, who is losing a position to Maurice Stumer. Maurice did lose a spot to Houseman, did lose a spot to Bume, but he got back ahead of Bume. Fair play to Maurice Stumer. Maurice didn't have the worst season last season for AlphaTauri, but he'd like maybe a few more points for Ferrari this time around. A reminder of your driver's standings, of course. It was Rosenberg who led this race, or led before this race, and it's looking like he's going to extend his lead coming out of it. Tyler Davison in second, and Lewis McWilliam in third. Luke Davies in fourth, with Avesta Gobadi in fifth position. It's been maybe not the most exciting Belgian Grand Prix so far, but I think this definitely has potential to get interesting as Luke Davies gets past Philip Engel once again.
Yeah, so these two very much trading places every lap. In an ideal world, they would nearly be helping each other catch up to the leading pair. Well, that's not really going to happen because it's not like Monza where it practically is all straights. This track is Sector 1, straight line speed, Sector 3, straight line speed, but Sector 2, talking about downforce, and that's where the driver often makes a difference in that case. Because they simply can maybe compensate for the lesser downforce a bit more, and maybe the compromise in setup. And plus, if these two are running more downforcey setups, and they're not having to worry about somebody latching onto them with DRS and more straight line speed, they can just simply break away. Which is why the second gap is so crucial.
I've just got a very interesting message during the race, and usually I wouldn't bring this up on stream, but I think this is very interesting. I think you'll find it funny, Brendan. Karen Demirtas has just messaged asking, does FVR still exist? Yes, it does. We're live.
Yes.
Convenient enough. First pitter, Leroy Vincendo. That's a set of the hard tyres, surely. Surely a lot of these drivers are going to try to be doing mediums to soft, but Leroy trying something different.
Oh, yeah. That is actually interesting. Maybe he needs to do something a little out there. It could be not the worst step. I will say, I do miss Karem sometimes. He was a good driver here in FVR.
What I've just been told, he
Engel.
might be making a return on this. Philip Engel gets past Luke Davies. And I believe Tyler Davison is about to get past Yoshi. No, not quite. He's going to try swap him in and swap him out. Round the outside, bravery from Davison. Oh, that was so close to maybe just getting too much on the curb. There, side by side, Sauber and AlphaTauri. Yoshi just stays ahead for the time being, but that was brave from Tyler Davison.
Yeah, that was very close to still happen, I think, but yeah, just running around on the road, really. Because I think realistically you need to be a little more alongside to make that work, because otherwise you then end up running out of road. You would have to be a little bit ahead nearly to take the initiative in that corner. Like the inside is very much the place to be unless you're absolutely positively behind. And these haven't switched much at all. These top two. You wonder if McQuillan will try something before the stops, or maybe go for an undercut.
Do you reckon Lewis is bored? He has to be, sure. As Philip Engel comes into the pit lane. Lewis is also running on about 4 hours, or about 3 hours sleep. I just thought I should also mention that. He very much loves watching midnight Formula 1. As a couple of pitters this time round. Medium hard seems to be the strategy of play. I would have thought medium soft would have been what these guys are going for. That's surely what Legend and Lewis are going for, by the way, because that's why they saved the tyre in qualifying. If you didn't tune into qualifying, they did pit early, or they didn't pit early. They ended the qualifying early by just sitting in the garage to save a set of the soft tyres, where everyone else did 3 runs, your traditional amount of runs. And that's what happened there. Conor Rochford very quick again this week. He's right on the tail of the world champion now.
Yeah, very much so. You'd have to say Rochford is done very well. I don't think he's shown in any of these races he's absolutely shown blistering pace, but the pace has been there every week. A good pace, solid. It's all been there every week, and that's probably one of the best things. Oh, hang on, we've got a safety car.
Oh, Morris Schumer. That's the Ferrari-man who's out. Oh, that's a horrific moment if you just pit, and that's Schumer gone towards the X curve, where we saw Leroy Vincendo. That was a shattered Ferrari, and Morris Schumer's, very disappointing for Morris Schumer, the German driver, who is out of this race. It's terrible news if you've just come into the pit lane. Also, second week running where Tyler's masterclass to safety car. This isn't FVR.
Yeah. Who knows? This might be TIA, Tyler International Assistance, some might say. Although I would have to say definitely some Ferrari International Assistance, because that Ferrari has crashed and managed to mess over the race of the other Ferrari.
Very true. Very unfortunate for Philip Engel. It's
Oh,
going to be
hang on.
softs, I believe.
There's Gaston playing games a little bit. I think Philip is only trying to push him along. But I've seen now, does Philip jump a few people? Davies is on the hard.
Oh,
Oh,
Luke.
he's going to be a sitting duck. He either thinks these softs are not going to make it, or he does not have the softs to go to the end, because maybe he used them all up in quality.
Surely he's a sitting duck here, however. He's got Conor Rochford right behind him on the softs. Tyler Davison's also on the softs. This is not a good moment if you're Luke Davies or Philip Engel.
Yeah,
It's not ideal, that's for sure. It's certainly not an ideal prospect. Tim Denhire on the mediums, that's a great tyre because that will surely get to the end without any doubts, because if it's done 12 laps, for some drivers it'll easily do 10 or 11. But currently, Legend Rosenberg, top of the order, and then it is Lewis McWilliam, Luke Davies, and then of course it is Conor Rochford, Philip Engel, Tyler Davison, Can Dulger, Nathan Marriott, Tim Denhire, Adrian Tishy, Boy Yoshi, Enzo King, and Abor Bune, Nils Hartl, Abib McCook, Yat Van Guru, Liam Houseman, Leroy Van Schendel. Liam and Leroy both pitting under that safety car to go for a fresh set of hards. It's not the worst strategy call I've ever seen.
yeah, maybe not the worst call. Going for mediums, like it is probably the nicest choice you could make. If you were in hard tires, it is a good way to go because you'll have decent enough pace at the start. But you know, your tires will be able to handle the last 10 laps, especially if you're on a lesser fuel load.
Of course, if
So-
you're interested in strategy specifically around Spa-Francorchamps and you want to do it for yourself, but you're like, oh, well, I've missed this race, you've not missed every opportunity. We've got the Formula Virtual Racing Gran Turismo Championship coming up soon, so make sure you do check that out. It should be a very, very interesting one, and we hope to see it started very, very soon. But in terms of this race, we've got a good couple of laps still to race. And I tell you what, Brendan, I don't think it's decided just yet, as much as Legend and Lewis may have the pace advantage.
Yeah, these two very much look to break away because Davies, giving them hard tires, he'll have an uphill battle trying to keep places and then more trying to gain places back if he loses them. Because he's then going to have to fight, and he'll nearly need to fight in order to bring them tires up to the temperature. But it'll be difficult to just hold back, particularly Rochford and Soft, who could do a very good job for his teammate here if he gets involved a little.
You get it?
Ooh,
Hold on a second. It's just become quite dull at the in the Ardenne Forest. Bit of cloud cover.
Hang on, I am going to just have a look at the weather at the start of this race.
Yeah, of course.
Because
This
obviously
Ardenne Forest is it's familiar to rain.
False alarm.
No, just dull.
It's just quality.
The Ardenne Forest
Yeah.
region in Spa does experience the highest annual rainfall of anywhere in Belgium. It rained in the Belgian Grand Prix for 20 years in a row. 20 years in a row. It rained in the Belgian Grand Prix. Of course, Belgian Grand Prix has been cancelled many a time. A safety campaign launched by Jackie Stewart cancelled it in 1969 for 10 years. It moved to Zolder. And of course it was cancelled a few times in the 20s as well. 2003 due to a ban on tobacco advertising, and 2006 due to repairs for construction work. But we are 13 laps into the better of a race here. If you're enjoying the action, make sure you do subscribe to the YouTube channel. We greatly appreciate all your support on all FVR content. There's plenty more on Instagram, plenty more on Twitter, and plenty here on our YouTube. If you're interested in joining Formula Virtual Racing, you can join our Discord server, which is linked in the description. So get yourself over. We would love to have you as a part of the league, whether that be as a driver, as a staff member. We'd love to see you. So make sure you you pop over and check it out. Safety car is in this lap nonetheless. It'll be Rosenberg the leader.
Yeah, Rosenberg wants to get this restart right. Just get away. Or you didn't look into thinking, just get away, get back to where you were doing. And obviously, Davies being there in third could help them with that. Just need them stopped. Admittedly, while it is a long lap from Spa, it'll take a bit more out of your laps, even under safety, out of your tyres, even under safety car. But should be very, very interesting here. We were waiting a little while for something to happen. It had happened, and now we could get even more chaos.
And we go racing once again here in Belgium. Legend's gone early. He did not wait till after the chicane, wanted an impromptu restart, and he has got it done. Legend leads us down towards last source for the 14th time here in this race. It's a good restart. Lewis has kept with him. A little bit further back, a couple of cars looking to try and make some moves, although I say that, there's not really. They're all kind of fairly line astern. It'll be this run down towards Lake Holm where cars start to catch each other. Lewis and Legend have already gone from Luke Davies. There's no grip whatsoever in that hard tyre. They are very difficult to heat up. And if my name is Conor Rochford now, I'm clicking on the battery, tucking into the slipstream and doing everything humanly possible to get past Luke Davies. He's going to listen. Here comes Conor Rochford to the outside and towards Lake Holm. Is the Irishman able to get the job done? And Luke Davies hangs it round the outside. Yes, he does. The Red Bull second driver has just dominated past. He's abolished the physical existence of the world champion. And Luke is down to fourth. Tyler Davison in the, I suppose, the sister team of Red Bull, you could say. Not really an FVR, they're very much two separate entities. He's now looking to try and get past Luke Davies. Has Luke Davies made a big blunder by going on the hard tyres, Brendan? It wouldn't be his first strategy blunder in a World Championship battle.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, he's had one or two happen before. Silverstone, I believe, where he actually stayed out way too long.
Yeah. Safety car didn't help him that day, mind you, but there was another one in Austria, and I believe there's another one, and I want to say Singapore. I don't know, I can't remember. It was one of the night races, I know that much, but not good for Luke Davies. On the soft tire runners, excluding Bob Bune, might be the top four in this race. Tyler Davison is hungry to get past his fellow British driver, his former Formula Virtual Racing Academy teammate, and a man he has got close and personal with on a Formula Virtual Racing racetrack before. Luke has been the victim of many a dive from Davison behind. But let's wait and see what happens. Up Eau Rouge and Ravillon, the Avatari, tucked into the slipstream of the McLaren, in towards one of the world's most famous motorsport corners. The man on the softs will have 10 times more the grip than the man on the hards, and he's almost past, heading through Eau Rouge and Ravillon. The Avatari breezes past. So much more grip than the McLaren of Luke Davies. He could have realistically gone round the outside of Ravillon if it had been a wider corner. And he's up and ahead. That was fairly simple. P5 potentially the maximum for Luke here, unless there's another safety car, rain, or pure carnage that abolishes the top four.
Yeah, the top four are now all on soft tyres. I think very much Davies be locked in with another battle with Engel for maybe fifth. Maybe if these softs do fall off a little bit, you could see something happen where Davies starts closing back in, but you'd only imagine he'd be getting anywhere near what position he was in originally under the safety car. Rochford is 1.7 off. I just don't see him really making a dent on McWilliam or Rosenberg.
Here come the two Sauber teammates. Liam Hausmann's trying to get past his stand-in teammate Boyd Yoshi, replacing Jonathan Jurgens-Meyer, of course, for this evening. Jurgens-Meyer racing in the iRacing 12 Hours of Sebring. They're both looking to try and get past Nathan Marriott into the chicane. Dive from Liam Hausmann on his teammate. Liam Hausmann's made that one look fairly simple. It is Haas versus Sauber versus Haas. A cracking battle by the two Ferrari customer teams here in the middle of the pack. It's the battle for the final 2 points paying positions in 9th and 10th. There goes Enzo King diving down the inside of Boy Yoshi. Boy Yoshi has been dismantled on those hard compound the tyre, and his teammate and the Haas have both got ahead. Here comes Liam Houseman derating as he heads up the hill, but he's into the slipstream of the Haas in front, and he might just have enough to get down this straight and get ahead into the corner. Enzo King is going to try and make it free abreast. Oh, a little bit of a late manoeuvre from Liam Houseman. The two Haas's are now both on his inside. It's free wide into Lake Home. Late dive from Enzo King. Nudge between the two. Dutch driver goes off the circuit. Enzo King emerges in front. Liam Houseman needs to just keep his calm and control here. Doesn't want to do anything too silly. He does. He sits behind for the time being. Bruxelles hairpin can definitely be a corner that encourages you to dive up the inside stupidly. Liam didn't fall for that trap. Stays in 10th place. Still good points on the cards potentially for the Sauber.
Yeah, obviously a little bit late from Houseman, but Enzo wasn't too. It was very much clear that he wants to just keep Houseman behind once he got down the inside. Obviously, Houseman was probably looking to hang around the outside, but it's just Enzo basically told him that is not happening today. But they'd expect these two are probably going to keep scrapping here, especially Houseman, who seems to be probably. The ERS button must be crying with how much it's being deployed, because anytime he gets a little bit, he's on it.
And here he is, look at this, he's almost bump drafting Enzo King into the bus stop. That's a little tactic I'm seeing from Liam here. He lifts early into the bus stop and then just hammers on the brakes like 50 metres later. Then the car in front to try catch them off guard. That's because he's bled off the speed, of course. He can't brake a lot later because he's not going at a higher velocity. Here comes Liam Houseman trying to hang it around the outside of Enzo King. It's not worked out this time, but look again, he's got a thunderous exit. And oh, this could be very, very silly. If he's on the grass! Oh my goodness me! The two Hassels have gone side by side for Eau Rouge, and Liam Houseman was being nudged on the grass before one of the most dangerous corners in motorsport. These three are going hammer and thong at it. They're almost four abreast, and it's weaving all the way. Enzo nudges Liam. It's proper scrappy racing. It's proper make and break. It's Haas and Sauber side by side like it's an entrance way and a gantry to Noah's Ark. Leroy Van Schendel now sweeps down the inside of the two. The Alfa Romeo trying to get the pair of them. He's trying to get the three of them. And the Alpine, apologies, not the Alfa Romeo. Leroy Van Schendel is up to 11th position. That was bizarre. It was obscene. It continues into Pujon, and Liam Houseman dives down the inside of Nathan Marriott. My goodness me. Have you ever seen the like?
Oh, poor Enzo. He went from about 10th to 9th nearly to 14th in about a few corners.
Yeah, poor Enzo has been annihilated in that battle. Oh, he's picked up a penalty as well. He's behind Adrian Tishy, who is in this battle. The Canadian has introduced himself a little bit. It's mad. It's lap 17 of the 22. The top leaders are within 0.4 of a second. We haven't even looked at them once since the safety car restart because of how good this battle is in the mid-pack. Leroy Van Schendel diving down the inside of Nathan Marriott. Leroy's driven a solid race since that spin. He's obviously, of course, on better tyres than these three behind, but doing a stellar job nonetheless. Let's have a look at that leader battle, shall we? Or certainly the battle for 4th and 5th. Luke not doing a half bad job here. He's within 0.2 of a second. Davison in front. Rochford might be under the cosh here from Tyler Davison, because here comes the Alphatari burning the battery button. It's going to be the outside for the Yorkshireman, and he gets the job done. Here comes Luke Davies going for broke down the inside. Now this really is the Mika Hakkinen move in the McLaren. Yeah, that's fantastic from Luke. That's really impressive, and he's up and ahead.
Yeah, maybe the hard tires are starting to kick in now. Like he has managed to do as much as he really could. Oh,
that's Nathan Marriott who's gone round in the just into the second sector. In through Lake Colm, he's now dropped to 16. Oh, 4 more Bunes internet issues strike again. And that's the man on 14th who has dropped out of the lobby. These front two, though, have been in a world of their own, the own race. They continue. 4:10 separating Legend and Lewis. Surely Lewis is just sticking behind here and waiting to go for it on the last lap.
Yeah.
Seems like he's been doing that since lap 1, to be fair.
Yeah, Williams is very content to just sit there. But I'd imagine, especially after last week, where it kind of just the race slowly fell apart for him, I'd imagine he'd want to just get on with it, maybe try beat Rosenberg, you know, like he did in Australia. Get the move done later on in the race, and then hold on.
I mean, if
as
he wants to win the World
an
Championship,
underdog.
he's got to beat Legend every week. He can. He has an opportunity to do it this week. He can't just sit behind.
Yeah, like, best you can do now is just
I don't think he will, to be fair.
if you.
He seemed like a
Yeah.
bit of a newly motivated Lewis McWilliam since going in that Alpine. He's on the battery, but he's going for it now.
Oh.
Lewis McWilliam into the race lead. The triple world champion overtakes the triple world champion. And lap 19 of 22, maybe he's just trying to start a bit of back and forth between the two, or maybe he's going to try and break the DRS. It would be a bit of a silly tactic, I think, to use up all your battery, but obviously feels he's a bit better paced than Legend. I don't think anyone in FVR has ever felt they've a bit better paced than Legend since maybe season 3, when Legend started his career by punting a Williams, to quote myself. Lap 19 to 22, though. The gamesmanship potentially has started between L squared at the top. It is Lewis who leads Legend.
Yeah, Lewis leading Legend here. I do believe if we just check for fastest lap, that does belong to McWilliam. He would snatch the lead after Rosenberg.
He
would
might
he
take
actually?
that one though, because he's
No.
good for fresh tires. But still,
No.
we'd need to be a good lap, mind you. But
Oh no, he won't actually. No, sorry. McWilliam's in 38, Rosenberg in 46. The best case scenario, which is this, would be McWilliam closing to within 1.
also,
I
Ball
think
won't take
Davidson
advantage
will
of that,
follow.
'cause he's not actually here, is he? It's an AI driving round.
Yeah, maybe if he gets back in by into lap 21, he could.
Legend on the battery, out of the corner. So, if I was Legend, you won the race last week by sitting behind and taking it on the last lap. I would be inclined to do it again if I was Legend, but I don't know. You're sort of maybe threatened by Lewis McWilliam. Lewis seems to not be using the full capabilities of that Alpine yet. Legends lifted off and staying behind. There is no urgency in that Red Bull to take the race lead. We've had a lot of races like this. Australia was decided on the last lap. Las Vegas was decided on the last lap. This race could well be decided on the last lap as well. I mean, technically, Monza was decided on the last lap. I don't know. Yeah, it's very intriguing. We'll have 2 more laps after this one, 21 and 22. Legend stays behind. Whoever is second going on to 22, I can honestly see win this race, because that run from La Source to the Camel Straight, it is quite a long run, and you can easily take the race lead on it with a good slipstream with DRS and with utilising your battery. But both their batteries are in a good scenario. Lewis maybe slightly less, which would leave him very vulnerable if the scenario I am plotting does turn out.
Yeah, I can imagine they'll probably use the most of it going into the home on lap 22, and if somebody has a little bit left going towards Blanchimont and the bus stop, that could be very, very crucial, because it could prevent or allow the final chance to occur there rather than the final chance in Le Con. You see, it's this penultimate lap now. Does Rosenberg want to go for a move now, or will he hold?
I think he'll want to hold. He's not burning the battery, and he's very late with his upshifts. He is staying behind the
look,
Alpine.
he's lifting. He's lifted. He's lifting again.
Oh, I think Lewis is as well, honestly. I think there could be a bit of gamesmanship here, heading on to the last lap. We've seen DRS games in Formula Virtual before. There was a stern warning about them after the Bahrain incident, or Le Incident, as Niels Hardle likes to refer them to. Could be interesting. Speaking of Niels Hardle, 14th. Don't think we've actually mentioned poor Niels today. But it is, or now it looks like, it's going to be Lewis leading Legend onto the final lap of the race.
Yeah, so McWilliam holds the position, but Rosenberg probably holds the cars.
And that would have been a cracking pod if we were still in Las Vegas.
Yeah. Well, it's a bit late for that now, isn't it? Don't know if Belgium has too many casinos.
Oh, it does! Actually, I have this written down. It's the home of the world's oldest casino, which began construction in 1763. What a play! look at this is like a prime. That was like a prime Kevin De Bruyne assist from Brendan for me to get my fact out. Final lap of the Belgian Grand Prix. It is Lewis McWilliam who leads Legend Rosenberg, but will that all change? We've got to see who burns all their battery heading down towards Lake Combe. They're going to be going for broke here. Lewis needed a good exit out of the source. He's got a good exit, but Legend is 0.4 of a second behind, heading in towards the two famous corners for one last time. It's Lewis and Legend up Eau Rouge and Radillon. Legend Rosenberg is gaining in the slipstream. He'll be clicking on that DRS at the soonest possible point and burning the battery and going for this one. How does Lewis play and try to defend an unstoppable force? Legend Rosenberg leads the Belgian Grand Prix at the final lap. Is Lewis able to hound him down, maybe into the bus stop chicane? It could possibly happen.
Yeah, he has a bit, but look how much Rosenberg still has. He can very easily just power on here. He could use a bit here, like you see now. He's able to push on there. And that stops McWilliam from gaining anything.
Yeah, Legend's gone. He's gone. He's like a 100-metre sprinter with the line in sight. It's 0.5 of a second between Legend and Lewis. And remember, there's no DRS on the run down towards the bus stop. Legend might be arriving to the terminal of the bus stop very much earlier than Lewis McWilliam. 0.6 of a second separates Legend Rosenberg and the Scotsman heading through the final couple of corners through the Couve Paul Frere. Legend Rosenberg may consider himself home and dry at his Belgian Grand Prix that didn't feature rain and only one safety car. Lewis is gaining. The Alpine is being pushed to the limits it's potentially never been pushed before. He's broke about 100 metres too late, but it's not good enough. Legend Rosenberg rounds through the bus stop to win his 4th career Belgian Grand Prix, a feat achieved by none other. The Dutchman has won 2 in a row here in Formula Virtual Racing and will extend his championship lead. Tyler Davison sees home 3rd. Luke Davies in 4th, then Can Dulger and Connor Rochford drag race to the line. Dulger beats Rochford. What a performance by Can Dulger. Then it's Tim Dunhire, Leroy Vincendel, Boy Yoshi, Enzo King. Then it's Liam Houseman, Adrian Tishy, Nathan Marriott, and then it'll be Nils Hartle, Habib McCook and Borbune. 0.3 the gap between Legend and Lewis. That was almost a Hail Mary from Lewis into the final corner.
Yeah, when he tried absolutely everything he could, but in the end, you can't really do much about it then. When they just have that much more ERS and they have the slipstream, it's very much like you can try, but you're just simply not going to stop something that's simply going much quicker than you.
Yeah, it was the unmovable object versus the unstoppable force. Unfortunately, the immovable object took the win today, and Borbune took the fastest lap. Fantastic from Borbune. He drove an awful race, but he still got a point for it. I suppose that's the beauty of Formula Virtual Racing and why the point system can be rather rewarding from time to time. We'll try here from your top 3. They're usually very obliging with interviews, but Legend Rosenberg shows why he is potentially the best, and he was the man who won this race on the last lap, like Brendan said. Brendan said it might be decided on the last lap. It was.
Yeah, very much so. It's just, that's often the case here with Spa. You just need to be in the right place, right time to make that move. It's a bit easier than it is in real life. And, well, Rosenberg knew it and took advantage. As you can see, Luke has left. Why? But let's say that's probably... This is probably the best way it could have worked out for Rosenberg. He's extended his lead. And not much else he's to do. If he can just keep this up, it could be him just slowly pulling away from the others.
It is Legend Rosenberg who wins the Belgian Grand Prix ahead of Lewis McWilliam and Tyler Davison. And it is Luke Davies, Philip Engel, Cam Dulgar, Connor Rochford, Tim Dunhire, Leroy Vincendel, Boy Yoshi, Enzo King, Liam Houseman, Nathan Marriott, Nils Hartle, Adrian Tishy, Habib McCook, Borbune, Yafin Panguru and Morris Stewart. The bottom 2, of course, being your non-finishers. Well, let's have a word then with the winner of today's race. Let's hear from Legend Rosenberg, Tyler Davison, and then Lewis McWilliam, of course, as well. Legend, hello, congratulations. You have won your 4th Belgian Grand Prix. You took it on the last lap. That's now 2 weeks in a row. You've taken the lead on the last lap. You like to keep things late, but it's a win nonetheless. Are you happy with today?
Yeah, thank you. I'm very happy with today's performance in qualifying and the whole race. Yeah, it was a good race. On the other hand, it was a boring race a bit with with the gap we had, but I'm happy.
Championship wise, very good position for yourself now. First man to win 2 races this season, 2 on the trot. You are ahead by a good few points now, extending the championship lead to everybody. Are you happy with the position in the title for now?
Yeah, for now I'm happy. You know, it's we're not even halfway through the season right now, so anything can happen. But yeah, currently I'm happy. But the one thing I learned from last season was to try and attend every race. So that's my plan to do that. Obviously, sometimes things happen that you cannot attend. Like last season, I had a few races where I couldn't attend. One of them was with COVID and stuff. But you know, that's all last season. It's about now. But I'm happy about the championship position right now, as well with the constructors, I think. So yeah, going very good at the moment, but just gotta keep doing what I'm doing at the moment every single week.
Speaking of that Constructors' Championship, another great performance by Connor today. Is it sort of ease of mind knowing that you have someone who can pick up a few points in the background?
Yeah, of course, it's always great to see somebody doing good work for the team as well. Because you know, I had some seasons where the second drivers didn't do much, but Connor's doing great this season. You know, he was in a podium position as well today. I don't know what happened, but you know, he still got 7th, so you know that's good points for the team. So yeah, like I said, I want to keep doing what I'm doing at the moment, and I think Connor wants the same, or maybe even better. But he's doing great at the moment, so just gonna keep it up.
Brendan, any questions?
Well, obviously the first 2 races they ended up the year then win. Obviously Italy ended up a bit underwhelming, but these last 2 you've got the win in Las Vegas, you've got the win at Spa. It looks like you're going to take a sizable enough lead, I believe about 14 points. Would you say now that you think you can maybe push on this championship next couple of races, really put the gap out, or do you think that one way or another that things will still remain a bit close?
I think if I remember good, I didn't really had one championship where I was very far ahead. Maybe season 5, but I can't really remember that. But I think things will always stay a bit close. You know, I cannot win every single race because there's always some things that go wrong, whether it's my own fault, whether someone hits me, whether it's an unlucky safety car. Anything can happen, and you know, throw the championship a little bit backwards. But yeah, if I'm just doing my own thing like I did in Las Vegas and here in Belgium, you know, I think I can just keep extending it. But you know, I'm sure Lewis will win a few more, maybe a fast start, but you know, anything can happen. So, but I'm currently happy, so that's all that matters.
Legend, thank you very much for joining us. Greatly appreciated. And yeah, congratulations once again.
Thank you very much.
Second place man, Lewis McWilliam. Lewis, unfortunately, wasn't to be today for the race win. Are you happy with second, or would you have liked to get the full 22 points?
Yeah, I think for most of the race, I was kind of under the impression that Legend had the upper hand all the time. But I mean, it's as good as it gets when me and him, it's basically our race. We had a huge gap to everyone else. I think even if I hadn't stayed in Legends DRS, I think I would have just ran my own race ahead of everyone else but behind him, so it's about as good as it gets.
Of course, still, I think it is definitely better than last week in Las Vegas around Spa-Francorchamps. Next week, of course, we had Saudi Arabia. You've won there in the past. Is Saudi Arabia maybe a little bit more suited to you than Spa?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good track. I quite like driving it. I've got a bit of a change of scenery for the next 3 weekends. I'm at home, so I don't know. I might make it a bit more difficult because I'm not used to different monitor and stuff like that, but hopefully should be fine. It's good to settle the ship again, I suppose. I think it's a bit disappointing though, because I think he said that he's got a 16-point gap, and say I'd finished second behind him last weekend, then I would be equal on points with him. But I mean, there's not really much you can do about that now.
Then in terms of the constructors' standings, of course, you want to do well with Alpine. Wasn't necessarily the best race for Leroy, but are you still confident you can both come back and give Red Bull a solid challenge, I should say?
I mean, Leroy's good. I like working with Leroy. He's had a bit of an unfortunate start to the season, but it's great working with him anyway. I've not putting any pressure on him. I'm just going to score my points, and he just does his job. If we end up being with Red Bull, then that's a positive, but there's no pressure on him or anyone to really go for that, because I think Legend and Connor are quite strong. But we're obviously going to try to do our best. If we end up there, then that's good, but I don't think there's any pressure from my side towards Leroy to perform in any certain way.
Brendan, any questions?
So you did end up waiting a long time to pass, and then you did it in lap 19. Do you think now, was that the right choice in the end? Because maybe if you had waited until the final lap, you would have gotten the win, or do you think you kind of just had to go for it then and hope that it worked out?
I mean, me and Legend were obviously kind of slingshotting each other and using to get the gap, and then I think eventually one lap, I think it was after I passed him, I said, "Do you want to just do you want to race this to the end?" He said, "Yeah." So near the end, we just had our own battle, I suppose. But I think by the point I'd overtaken him, I think we were still just kind of slingshotting each other for the gap to ensure we had safety in it, and before we decided we were going to start properly going for it. But yeah, I think obviously if you're at the start of the last lap, you know Legend's going to win because of the DRS. It's just so powerful.
Well, Lewis, thank you very much for joining us. Greatly appreciated. And congratulations on the podium once again. Tyler, you weren't sure if you'd be back this week, but you are. You're here, and it's another P3 position you've grown on to love. Qualifying pace wasn't ideal, but once again you recovered well in the race. Are you happy with how it went on?
Yeah, look, qualifying there's never been my strong point. There's no debate on that. I mean, to be fair, I'd have probably took P5 before the session started. I don't know. I just know how to run my race. I know I probably got the consistency over the likes of Liam and Leroy. I suppose sort of out qualified themselves of where you'd expect them to be. So I just tried to run my race. Obviously, I had a lovely little donut at turn 1, thanks to, as Luke would say, Liam Houseman. But yeah, I had to work my way back in that race. So safety car bailed me out. A little bit safety car luck, which is quite nice. Don't get that too often. So yeah, it was I'm happy.
So you're still doing quite well in the championship. Still a very good position with that third place. Next week, Saudi Arabia. You've also won there in the past. You looking forward to that one? You dreading that one? How's the feeling in the Davison camp?
Looking forward to it. I've always got on well with the Cheddar circuit, so yeah, looking forward to it. Look, championship front. Well, I mean, just look at the other two people who've been in the Discord call, and then look at me. You know, you've got 2-time, 3-time champions, and I'm barely a 3-time race winner.
They're both 3-time champions, Tyler.
Well, they're all 2. My apologies. You've got 3 2-time champions, and you know I've barely won 4 races. So I think they've got more championships between them than I have race wins. So yeah. So I mean, look, the favourite 3 are the favourite 3. I'm just here to pick up some points and have some fun. If them three get distracted, all trying to kill each other, then it is what it is. But look, it's in their hands. I'm just here to have a smile on my face.
Just to confirm, yes, they do have more championships than you have race wins. But Brendan, any questions for Tyler?
Well, I was going to ask maybe a question with the race. I do. Do you remember last week? Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm
about
gonna be
that.
honest, right, Brendan? None of that came through on
Yeah,
my
you did
end.
just cut out, Brendan. I thought the stream had gone down, but unfortunately, you did just cut out. So.
Oh, okay.
You can repeat
Oh,
that.
sorry. Yeah, could I was just making a point that he did get a little bit lucky last week, mind you. But I will say, anyways, that
Sorry, Brendan.
you
You're
are
gonna have to
tied
repeat it
with
all. None of it came through.
you what? Oh God, I'm going to have to. Is that better?
No, you cut out again. Unfortunately, I think Brendan is having some technical issues, but he's gone completely. Tyler, just one last thing quickly. You said last season you'd be beating Luke Davies on the track was one of your professional experts or one of your professional talents. You've beaten him again today. Any comments?
Well, I mean, look at the last three. Look at the 3, 4. Yeah, look at all 4 races we've had this season, and look at the car that's finished exactly behind me. Nothing else more to add.
I believe it was not Luke in Australia, but
no, on track it was. On track it was.
Yeah, true.
On track it was.
Brendan, are you back with us?
Yeah. Do you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, so Tyler, so you are tied with Lewis McWilliam now in the championship at this moment. Would you say now that there's an outside chance of that title, or would you be thinking, I need a lot of luck here, particularly in the likes of Saudi Arabia? Maybe some of these tracks might favour you.
Look, I mean, look, I'll say it once, I'll say it again. Look, you've got 3.
Yeah.
It is 3 2-time champions, right? I'm just gonna get that correct. Yeah.
Two,
3-time champions. Yeah, look, you've got 2 3-time champions. As I said, they've got more championships between them than I have race wins. So look, yeah, they're the favourites. As I say, look, I think one of them 3 is going to win it. I don't think I'm even involved in the conversation. So the fact you've included me in it is quite an honour, to be honest. But look, I'm just here to drive with a smile on my face, and then what comes is what comes. So I'm not really. I am thinking about the championship, but I'm more dreaming about it than thinking about it.
Well, Tyler, thank you very much for joining us. Greatly appreciate it, and congratulations on the podium.
Thank you very much, sir.
Well, folks, that's all. That's going to be it for us here in Belgium. We have a thriller in Jeddah coming up next week, and you're not going to want to miss it. It'll be the Season 12 Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, and we look forward to you joining us. Greatly appreciate the support on the stream once again. Fabulous to have Brendan alongside me for another great week. Thank you very much, Brendan, and big thanks to you all at home. And we will be back for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix in just a short week. Make sure to check out our social channels. Make sure to stay safe. Make sure to stay well, and we shall see you next time. Bye-bye.
This program is brought to you by Simulus Clothing, official title sponsors of Formula Virtual Racing. But wait, there's more. Check out the official Formula Virtual Racing merchandise line out now exclusively to Simulus Clothing. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the program.